Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me for today's show is Sal Segala. Welcome to the show, Sal.
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
Okay, we are here to review the Martinsville race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It was quite the race, Sal. Your overall thoughts?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if I would say quite the race. I would say quite the embarrassment.
Demo Derby?
Demo Derby. Gosh, I couldn't believe what I saw. But either way, it was a race, and I'm sure, hopefully, we'll see some penalties come out of this that'll, you know, and a lot of meetings coming out to really straighten
Yes,
these drivers out and make them realize that they're not racing short tracks anymore. They're in one of NASCAR's elite series. And
correct.
they need to put on a better product.
100% agree with those statements. And we are going to talk about that in Hot Topics tonight. Our Hot Topics Sound Off will be live starting at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, and that would be 7 o'clock your time, Sal. If you want to join us, we're going to talk about that, and everybody's going to give their thoughts. It comes off the heels of Kyle Petty saying that a lot of these new drivers coming into the series think it's okay to race like that, and it's not okay.
Oh yeah, because they're just gonna tell it like it is. They're not gonna sugarcoat it or try to agree and say hey this is part of racing because what was seen and witnessed on Saturday was not nowhere near what NASCAR racing should be.
Not what it should be. I agree. Okay, now Austin Hill actually won the race. He happened to be again in the right place at the right time in a caution-filled Xfinity Series race at Martinsville. The Speedway robbed Austin Hill of a spot in the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 2 years ago, but it returned a gift this Saturday night when he was able to come up with that victory. In an eventful caution-filled Xfinity Series race at Martinsville, the 21 of Austin Hill snuck through on the final set of corners after taking the white flag in 6th place to score the win for the Marine Corps 250. It was his second win of the season and the first victory on a short track in the Xfinity Series. The number 8 of Sammy Smith charged into turn 3 on the final lap, turning the leader at the time, Taylor Gray, for the race lead. Smith traded paint with Justin Allgaier, but Hill surged ahead. A pileup on the front stretch ensued. Sheldon Creed collected another runner-up finish, the 14th of his career, still having yet to win. Allgaier took the checkered flag in third, and the number 44, Brennan Poole, the number 41 of Sam Mayer round out the top 5. Dean Thompson scored his best finish of his career with a 6th place finish. Daniel Dye, Ryan Sieg, Chris Wright, and Smith competing in complete the top 10. Gray was credited with a 29th place effort after leading 87 laps. It was such a heartbreak for Taylor Gray. The pole sitter, Connor Zilic, led a race-high 100 laps, sweeping the opening 2 stages, but he ended up dropping to 28th in the finishing order. There were 14 lead changes among 10 different drivers and 14 cautions for 104 yellow flag laps. The average speed of the race was 54.615 miles per hour. The highest finishing rookie was Dean Thompson in that 6th place finish. And it was also the 100th win for Richard Childress Racing. Your thoughts there about the top 10 finishers?
Cool. Congrats to Austin Hill. He found his way somehow to
Yes.
grab that win from Sheldon Creed. Um, you know, there was a lot said about the race, a lot said about what Sammy did to Gray, which wasn't professional. Going back to the top 10, congrats to Austin Hill on the win. Getting Richard Childress, his 100th win. That was neat. It was neat to see Haas Racing, finally get up, in the top 10. With Sheldon Creed, getting that second
Hmm.
place finish. Um, man, we haven't heard much from Brennan Poole in a long time. Picked up the fourth. Sam Mayer, who won the ARCA Menards West race last year at Sonoma, picking up the fifth place finish. Um, Boy, it was one heck of a last few laps and a lot of torn up race cars and a lot of tempers flying and I mean, what more could you say about it? Is that it wasn't a pretty win, but a win is a win.
A win is a win, and unfortunately, there were some egregious incidents on the track. I know Jeb Burton was not very happy with Daniel Dye, and had a few words for him. There were several drivers upset with various and assorted drivers in this race. So the fastest lap award goes to Sammy Smith on lap
Oh man,
240 at 20.487. So, yeah, that would have been pretty close to the end of the race. Yeah, there were 256 laps, and he had the fastest lap on lap 240. So he obviously was on a mission. And like I say, we're going to talk about it and sound off on our Hot Topic sound off tonight on it. But Martinsville is that kind of a track, though, too. A lot of people go home with their feelings hurt and upset with another driver somewhere along the line.
yeah, but I mean, I understand that,
Yep.
but I mean, try to keep it civil. Try to keep it a little bit on the clean side. Don't just do it blatantly, because you felt that he would do it back to you because nobody knows what drivers will do what to which drivers. So
Yes.
once again, you know what? Put
Comes
a
down to
black eye.
respect.
Oh yeah, put a black eye on the Xfinity series so far for this year. And see how fast and how they can you know recover from something like this happening.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what NASCAR does. I do think NASCAR needs to intervene in this case because I think it was that egregious. And we'll see what happens. But um, yeah, it's not okay to race like that. That's the number one thing. And you got to have respect for yourself. To me, what it says is that you don't have confidence that you could have won the race on your own by racing cleanly. And so you had to take drastic measures. And it aggravates me that he says things like, that's what you have to do to win these races. No, it's not what you have to do to win these races. I don't agree with that statement at all.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that because that's not how you want to win races. You want to race somebody clean. You know what? Race them hard, yes. Race them clean. This way, you can get respect you would need. This way, if
Yes.
you ever get back out on track and you guys are next to each other, at least the respect. It's going to go a long way.
It's going to go a long way. And he said that he thought that Taylor Gray wasn't showing him very much respect. And I don't quite know what he's talking about there, but he definitely didn't show Gray any respect, and he didn't
Now,
show
there's
himself
other
any
ways.
respect. Huh?
I mean, he could have raced normally, and at the end of the race, got up to Taylor Gray, and said, hey, you know what? I didn't like the way you raced me. Instead of just taking it upon himself, to wreck him and then
Yes.
wreck all the other parts of the field,
Yes, you're
wreck
playing
other
with the big
drivers.
boys now, and so you got to put on
Yeah,
your big boy pants and race like a
exactly.
big boy.
Yeah, and then and show some respect, for your fellow driver. But you know what?
Exactly.
It is what it is. I mean, NASCAR allowed it. Let's see what happens if there's any if there's going to be any repercussions, in the next
Oh,
couple of days from NASCAR.
okay. We'll have to wait and see what the rest of the story is there. Um, did you want to cover the points here?
Yeah. So on the points end, we're still looking at Justin Allgaier leading the points. Sam Mayer in second. Austin Hill now has 2 wins, sitting in third. Sheldon Creed is having a lot better year than he had last year,
Yep.
sitting in fourth. Jesse Love sitting in fifth with his 1 win. And then we go to Sammy Smith in sixth, which that could possibly change and knock him out of the top 10, top 15, maybe possibly out of the top 20 if NASCAR decides they're going to take any action against him.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh is Connor Village, which is the highest rookie, and he has his 1 win. And then in eighth, we got Eric Almirola, who also has a win. Ninth is Ryan Sieg. 10th is Carson Kvapil. 11th is Jeb Burton, and 12th is Daniel Dye, who also had issues with one of the drivers out on the track during the race.
Yes. Taylor Gray falls below the cut line, which I think is unfortunate for him. I don't expect him to stay there. Then you got Brandon Jones on the bubble, along with Harrison Burton and Nick Sanchez. The highest rookie there is Connor Zilic. Playoff points. Austin Hill has the most playoff points because he's got 4 stage wins along with his 2 victories. Justin Allgaier has the second most because he only has the 2 stage wins. So he sits at 12 playoff points that reflect his 2 wins and 2 stage wins. Anybody below the line you think could come up with a victory and end up above the line?
That's
Sal?
what I was looking at. I don't know. Maybe Christian Eckes has a chance. I mean, he did win in the Truck Series. He might have a chance. I don't see why Nick Sanchez can't pick up a win along the way. I'm sure we'll see Taylor Gray possibly pick up a win before the end of the season. Other than that, Jesse Love already has his 1 win. Connor Zilic has a win. Eric Almirola has a win. Justin Allgaier and Austin Leach each lead the series with 2 apiece. So
Yeah. Eric's
I'm
not
sure we'll
racing
see.
full time, so I don't think he could race for the owners championship, but I don't think he's going to be racing for a drivers championship this year.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to see Austin Hill pick up 2 or 3, possibly 2 or 3 more wins before the end of the season.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to point out before we close out here?
No, that's really about it. I'm curious to see what NASCAR how they're going to look at the Sammy Smith incident, but also look at just the way the race was was run on Saturday and see
There were quite
if
a
there's
few
anything they can
incidents.
do. Yeah, see if they can if there's anything that they can if they can do to better the product.
Yes. Okay, well, watch for more coming soon from Fan for Racing Radio. After this, Jay and I are going to do the Cup Series review. Sal and I just completed the Truck Series review, as well as the Xfinity Series review. We do have an interview coming up with Patrick Staropoli. He raced in both the NASCAR Truck Series as well as the Xfinity Series this weekend. We'll talk to him about what's going on with him this season. And then after that, at 9 o'clock is our Hot Topic Sound Off live stream. We're going to do it at least one more time. We're thinking about recording it for the future, but we are going to do a live stream tonight and talk about all the hot topics. We've touched on one of the hottest topics, but we'll also talk about the Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell announcement. Eric Jones was disqualified after the Cup Series race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was bizarre.
They took Ty Dillon and Eric Jones' cars both back to the R&D Center. Legacy said that they're not going to appeal the disqualification. And did you hear about this, Sal? Racer acquires MAV TV, creating a diverse motorsports media platform.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, that came out this week as well. And we'll talk about a lot of the dust ups this weekend in all three series. But Logano and Chastain were not happy with each other either.
Yeah, there's a lot of people not happy. Nobody's ever happy.
I know, especially at Martinsville.
Yeah, so
especially there.
Yeah, so we'll just see what happens as the soap opera, as the world turns. We'll just see what happens.
As the racing world turns.
Exactly.
Yes.
We'll see what comes up next.
Okay. And usually those announcements come out on Tuesday or Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. But we want to say thank you for watching Vampire Racing Radio. We appreciate you tuning in to hear what we have to say. And we hope you enjoy listening and watching as much as we enjoy doing this, because we have a lot of fun. And we hope you'll tune in for the previews that'll be coming up later this week as well. So Sal's going to be at the racetrack this weekend.
Yes, I'll be at Tucson for the Arca Menards West Series race. So looking forward to that. And other than that, I guess everybody have a safe weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.